What's going on, Jerome? So the NFL draft is in our rearview mirror, and the Minnesota Vikings made a small trade up from 11 to get JJ McCarthy, and also did land Dallas Turner at 17, which was phenomenal. But still, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, is like, okay, could the Vikings have traded up to 3 with the New England Patriots? And the Vikings and the Patriots reportedly had extensive talks throughout this entire process. And we're not trading down unless we get a bag. My name's Elliot Wolf. I got this job because of my daddy. All that stuff, right? But of course, the Patriots ended up sticking and picking and taking Drake Maye. Now, the general theory is that the Vikings, if they would have traded up to 3, would have taken Drake Maye. But what if that's not correct? Yeah, of course, everything is all going to be speculation and revisionist history, and of course, the only people who actually know is Kwesi and probably Kevin O'Connell. But hell, what if the Vikings are trying to trade up for JJ McCarthy? That completely would have changed the dynamic of things going on right now. But long story longer, ESPN's Mike Reiss, who's the ESPN Nation writer for the Patriots, put out a piece, how the Patriots decided quarterback Drake Maye was their future. It's going to be Maye. Now, I like Drake Maye a lot. I'm rooting for him. I'm a little bit worried if he has to start right away. Because, yeah, I mean, they got Javon Baker, sure. But outside of Onwenu, that offensive line is very poopy. And Drake Maye needs good protection. But Reiss talks about this. By the time their scouting process, blah, 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 blah. Thus, a trade package out of number 3 would have had to blow them away to consider moving down to the next quarterback options. A source said the New York Giants had offered the number 6 overall pick and their 2025 first-round pick, which, hell, that might be number 1. While the Vikings were ultimately willing to part with number 11, 23, along with the 2025 first-rounder, which would be 32. Sorry, I read the script already. In exchange for the 3rd pick and 2 mid-round selections from New England. But clearly neither of the proposals met the criteria of the bag that Mayo said, blah, 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 blah. So I love that Kwesi all along was just turning the screws to the Patriots. So not only was he unwilling to part with just 11, 23 and the 2025 first, he wanted mid-round picks on top of the 3rd pick. Now, what's great about it is that, hey, I know that Kwesi got a lot of poop for the Detroit trade in 2022, his first draft as GM. Fully understand that. But like players, like coaches, Kwesi is allowed to grow and show on the job. And I don't think that he takes this hardline stance with the Patriots like he did if he would have been a first-time GM. So now in his 3rd draft, I respect that he made an offer. He said that's the final offer. We're not going above that. And take it or leave it. And it's exactly what he did with the Danielle Hunter negotiations. It's exactly what he did with the Kirk Cousins negotiations. And I love what Kwesi's doing. Now, I don't think that he'll do that with the Jefferson negotiations. I think he's going to pay JJ whatever he wants, and rightfully so. But it's another step in the growth and maturity of Kwesi, where it's like, yeah, we would have liked to trade up. But also, like we said, maybe the Vikings trading up for McCarthy. And then I think there would have been pressure to start him right away. But the fact that Kwesi held the line and allowed the board to play out, I mean, you still got McCarthy at 10, and also hang on to 23. You're able to trade up a short amount to get Turner at 17. So, hell, maybe Maye was indeed the guy for the Vikings at 3. And yes, I mean, Drake Maye probably should sit for a year, and there's a lot of mechanical issues that he needs to work out, and a lot of risk-taking issues that he has to work out as well. But of course, the connection, he and Josh McCown, blah, 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 high school, and all that stuff, and maybe he would have been the guy. And frankly, if the deal would have gone down this way, where the Vikings were able to get a couple mid-round picks back on top of the 3, and the Patriots are like, sure, okay, we would have ridden or died. I'm trying to think of the past tense of ride or die. But it didn't happen. So Maye is a Patriot, and J.J. McCarthy is a friggin' Viking, and he's our guy. And frankly, like I said, I think the board played out perfectly for Kwesi, because I think once the Vikings were unable to get to 3, he really was playing poker, that the Cardinals and the Chargers would stick and pick, that the Giants ultimately wouldn't take a quarterback at 6, and also all the rumor and speculation is that the Giants were trying to trade up for Joe Alt, which would have been interesting. And I mean, they even survived the curveball of Penix going at 8 to the Falcons, and they got their guy. And the conversation, again, no one will ever know outside of Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, but I mean, there could have been legitimacy to the Vikings trading up to 3 for J.J. McCarthy, because the commies had said it came down to Jane Daniels and McCarthy. Of course, that could be BS, right? Now, this is Lion season. Like, everyone is covering their asses. And also, it wouldn't shock me at all. So Mike Reiss, veteran Patriots beat writer, you got Elliot Wolf, the little boy, saying like, did you know? Put it out there that we turned down 3 first-round picks for Drake Maye, because then that just fluffs up his value to the fans. Like, oh, we took Drake Maye instead of 3 firsts. That's exactly what it is, man. But no, I'm happy as a clam to have J.J. McCarthy as your developmental quarterback of the future. There's no real pressure on him to get on the field right away. He's going to develop at his own pace, and I think that his ceiling is just as high as everyone else's. And also, I think that his floor is the highest of any of the quarterbacks, because I think at minimum, he will be like Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy, and maximum, Tom frickin' Brady. That's right. In your face. And also Dallas Turner. And also hang on to that future first, which, since the Vikings are bereft of draft picks, there you go. And like I said, well, hell, who's lying? That's what I want to know. And of course, maybe the Vikings might be lying. Like, maybe McCarthy was just their last resort. Cut my life into pizza. This is my last resort. And they're just like, we would trade up to 3 for him. Who knows? But either way, I love the way that worked out. I'm wishing May the best. I'm a little bit worried that the Patriots are going to ruin him, but it is what it is. Anyways, your thoughts on our thoughts? ESPN reportedly, the final trade offer that the Vikings made to the Patriots to get up to 3. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for Daily Vikings. You know what to do. Skull production value.